All right, thank you too, Kevin Cork. We want to continue this conversation. Still a lot of questions here, so let's bring in John Day, criminal defense attorney and former deputy district attorney. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Live Now from Fox.
Thanks for having me, Krista.
I want to start with the credibility of Maxwell's statements. Given her own legal troubles and a history with Jeffrey Epstein, how credible is all this?
Right. Well, remember, the starting place is she is a convicted felon, and the conviction was for sex trafficking children. So you got to remember where we're beginning here with her statements to the Deputy Attorney General. So you can judge her credibility for yourself. There are the tapes that have been released, the transcripts. You have to put it in the perspective of what she's trying to get, which is what, some type of pardon, clemency, early release. I mean, there is an advantage that she's trying to get. So again, you can judge for yourself given the circumstances and the surroundings. But it's important to see what she's saying. Also, at the same time, what's happening is this whole tranche of release of documents going to Congress. So two things happening, two very separate situations. But the starting place with Maxwell is, what is her background, convicted felon, and what is she trying to accomplish?
I think one of the key things we learned yesterday in these statements is that she denied witnessing any inappropriate behavior with President Trump here. Does that move the needle at all in this investigation? Does that
Or it didn't happen?
And we do know the Trump administration released these records amid some backlash over transparency. How does this move impact public perception of the administration here by releasing these? And going forward, can we expect even more to come out?
Right. Well, remember, there is a large push, sort of a grassroots push to get all the Epstein documents out to see what's in there. And there's been some pushback, of course, but what's happening now is the Department of Justice, DOJ, is redacting information about the women involved, about the victims, about the younger, about the minors involved before they release these things. And they're going to be done in stages, apparently, going to Congress. And this is the first batch. It's going to be reviewed by both the Democratic and Republican members of the Oversight Committee. And then we expect those to be released. But it's going to happen in stages. So it's going to take a while to get all this out there. And so whether this tracks with what Maxwell is telling the Deputy Attorney General or not, we may be able to see if there's something in these release of documents that relates to Maxwell herself.
I'm just curious if you have a perspective on this from a legal standpoint. Why might the administration have chosen to release these transcripts now?
You know, there's been this push to be transparent. There's been this push to say, what's going on with the Epstein case? Tell us what's there. And there's been a lot of criticism, both from the right and the left. And a lot of supporters of the president are saying, get this stuff out there. Let us see it. It's going to be interesting to see what's been redacted. We think that the redactions are going to be simply victim information so that people are not re-victimized, the women, the young women who were Epstein's victims. But it's also going to be what else is there, what other names are there. You know, Maxwell now says, well, Bill Clinton wasn't at the island. Maxwell also says, I never saw anything improper or inappropriate with President Trump. Will these documents back that up? Is there anything in there that's even relevant to those statements? But at the end of the day, this is going to take a long, long time to get all this information out there. And it's going to be looked at with a sharp eye. People are going to be poring over these documents with a magnifying glass to see what's in there, what's in the Epstein files, and is there anything that's not there that we expected to see?
Given your professional legal experience, what would you like to see? What questions really are standing out for you here with all of this?
I'd like to see everything. I mean, I think transparency is really, really important in this case because there's such a push to see what was going on with Epstein. Who was he connected to? These allegations that he was somehow blackmailing people, that he had this client list. The DOJ says we haven't seen that. You know, they've issued statements that have been somewhat contradictory to be, I think that's an understatement. But at the same time, when the public gets to see this, people can make up their own minds. Is this transparent? Does it seem like things are missing? Does it seem like this fits with the narrative of what we've heard about Epstein? And it should, at the end of the day, it's like the Kennedy assassination files. When you don't release things, when you keep things back, or when the appearance is that things are being kept back, that just fuels conspiracy theories. So the answer is, you know, open the doors, open the windows, let people see what's there to make up their own minds.
All right, John Day, criminal defense attorney, thank you so much for joining us on Live Now from Fox this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.